Hello, everybody. So today we are going to be talking about a very, very common experience that many non-native English speakers have faced, which is, like when a native English speaker asks, does this make sense to you towards the end of the conversation? And then it makes us doubt our English. It makes us doubt ourselves and then leaves us feeling bad. It's happened to pretty much all of us, right? So how do you reframe this situation and how can you show up differently in this kind of situation moving forward? So let's just dive in and explore this topic in a little bit more detail. Sure. And first of all, when that happens, it is important to understand it's very, very likely that they do the same thing to everybody. So this behavior is not specific to you. Therefore, it is essential not to take it personally. Assuming that they are questioning your intelligence, your English proficiency is not very helpful. It's not very helpful here, is it? And I mean, yes, it is important to validate how we feel, because if we feel that way, that completely makes sense, right? But again, it's important to know that the speaker, they may have good intentions and maybe they just want to ensure that you understood everything, but they may not realize that this phrase can be quite triggering for us non-native English speakers. Like this phrase can sometimes make us feel like, it can sometimes make us doubt ourselves, right? So it's very, very important to realize that this behavior is not a reflection of your language abilities or your personality or your intelligence. It's simply a habit or a linguistic tick that some people have developed. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you on this specific topic. Now, second of all, it's also important to learn to separate ourselves from their behavior. So it's very, very crucial to learn how to separate yourself from their behavior instead of getting upset and feeling bad when somebody asks, does this make sense to you? To the end of the conversation, because you feel like they might think you look confused, right? Try and see it as an opportunity to improve your communication skills. So use this as an opportunity to ask questions, to clarify your understanding, or even ask for feedback on how you can improve your English skills. So let's try not to let our assumptions get the best of us. And I have actually got a very, very timely example that I wanted to share with you here. So the other day, I had to go to the police station to sort out some paperwork for myself. And unfortunately, the lady who was helping me at that time was actually quite rude and very impatient towards me. And it was actually quite an unpleasant experience. And I left the police station feeling quite upset that day, to be honest with you. And a couple of days later, when I caught up with a friend and I shared with him, so I told him about what happened, right? And then he immediately knew who I was talking about because he had to deal with her before. He had had the same experience with her before as well. And so he reassured me it was definitely not my fault. It was rather her behavior that was the issue. And when I heard that, I was so relieved because I realized I was definitely not the only one that she had treated poorly. And it was definitely her behavior. It was not me. And because like a couple of days later, when I went back to the police station to submit the rest of my paperwork, and I saw her treating somebody else in the same way, which made me realize, yep, it was definitely not me. It was definitely not me. It was, quite horrendous to witness that. I'm not going to go into detail here, but here, what I'm trying to say here is it's important to remember that when someone is behaving a certain way, good or bad, right? It's not always about us. So we shouldn't take it personally. It's their behavior, it's their habit, it's not us. In conclusion, if you find yourself in a situation when a native English speaker asks, does this make sense to you? Don't let this get to you. Remember, it's not about you. It's their behavior. It's their habit. It's really just a linguistic tick a lot of us have developed, right? So instead, take it as an opportunity to improve your communication abilities, and always remember that you are more than your ability to speak perfect English. And remember, your worth is not determined by your ability to speak English perfectly. So that's a very short Facebook Live, short and sweet, and hopefully you got something out of it. So thank you for tuning in today. And if you find this helpful, please like the video so I know that you are finding this helpful. And I'll see you again very soon. You take care. Bye.